Hello, dear students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine and safe at your home. Today, here I'm going to discuss a new topic that is comparing quantities for class 8. So, the topic here I'm going to cover that is unitary method, percentage, sales tax, VAT, and compound interest. So these topics are very important in your course and also not in this class 8, but these topics are going to be very important for your other classes like for 9, 10 and so on. Also in your competitive exam, these topics are very important and most of the questions we see that are actually related to our daily life. So first I'm going to discuss unitary method. So with few example, I am going to explain you that how we use unitary method. So in unitary method, what we do, unitary method compress two following steps. So First step, find the value of one unit. Second step, then find the value of required number of unit. So let's see the question. If 9 kg mangoes cost rupees 450, then how much 8 kg mangoes will cost? So here it is given that for 9 kg, so the price of 9 kg is 450. Then how we are going to find the cost of 8 mangoes? So let us start. Yes. So by unitary method we are going to solve it. So as we know that for 9 kg mangoes, so the price is given 450. So how we will going to find the cost of 8 kg mangoes? So what we will do, first we will find the cost of 1 kg mango. So we can write it as 1 into 9 kg mangoes is equal to 450. 450. So what we will do, we will keep 1 over here and we will take 9 to the denominator of 450. So we will simplify it and we get 50 rupees. So for 1 kg, for 1 kg apple, the cost will be 50 rupees. Now, how we will find the cost of 8 kg mango? So what I am going to do over here, that I will multiply 8 both sides. 8 into 1 kg is equal to 8 into 50 rupees. So the value of 8 kg we get as 400 rupees. So by this method you can easily find cost of any things. So it is very easy method to find the cost of things. Another a very simple example I am going to take. Let's suppose you have 10 apple and the cost of 10 apple is 200 rupees. So what would be the cost of 100 apple? Suppose the cost of 10 apple is equal to 200 rupees. Now what we will do? First we will find the cost of one apple. So what I will do? I will take 10 in the denominator of 200. So we will simplify it to for one apple is equal to 20 rupees. So for finding the cost of 100 apple, what I will do? I will multiply 100 to the both side. 100 this side also, and by this you will easily get the cost of 100 apple. So what will be the cost of 100 apple? 2000 rupees. So this will be the cost of 100 apples. In similar way, you can find cost of any item. So unitary method is very important and you can easily convert the cost of things for one value and then multiplying both the side of your required value, you can get the required answer. Now, let's move to next topic. The next topic is percentage. So what is percentage? Percentage are ways to compare quantities. They are numerators of factors, fractions with denominator 100, or it basically means per 100 value. Percentage is derived from Latin word per centum, meaning per 100. It is denoted by percent symbol. 1% means 1 by 100 is equal to 0.01. We can use either unitary method or we need to convert the fraction to an equivalent fraction with denominator 100. Now this is the question. 4 out of 10 shirts are red. What percent of shirts are red? So out of 10, there are 4 shirts which are red. So how we can find the percentage? What we will do, as you know that out of red Yes. Now again see, out of 10 shirts, the number of red shirts are 4. Hence, out of 100, sorry, out of 10, the number of red shirt are 4 by 10. Percent multiply 100 and the percent we will get 40. So what is the percent? That is 40%. So like this, how we can find the percent? So when you see there is a fraction, the value is given in fraction, and if you multiply by 100, you will get percentage. So percentage is always in fraction. Suppose if I write 40% or 50% or 65%, so that means it is written in fraction. So if I 65%, I am writing 40 by 100, or if 65% is written, that means 65 upon 100. So percent is always in fraction. Now a very simple example I'm going to take from your real life example. Suppose in English subject you have got 45 out of 100. In Hindi you have got 95 upon 100, or in English, sorry, in math, or in math you have get 90 upon 100. Now here I have to find a percent. If I ask you in this 3 subject, what is the total percentage you have gained? So what you will going to do? First you will add the total marks. So 100 plus 100 plus 100, that is 300. Total the total value is we get as 300, right? And the number you obtained for per subject, the number you obtained, that is 45 plus 95 plus 90. So you add all the numbers plus 95 plus 90. So we get as 230. Now here, if I ask you what is the percent, so what you will going to do? You will multiply this value that is in fraction with 100. So now divide it. 7. Now it will go by 6. Sorry. Point. Again it will go by 6. So the percentage we get 76.6. So like this we get percentage. Okay. Now let's move to next topic. So like this, you can find the percentage. The percentage basically is in fraction, and if we multiply by 100, we get the value in percentage. Now finding discounts. How we can find discount? Discount is a reduction given on the marked price MP of the article. This is generally given to attract customers to buy goods or to promote sales of the goods. You can find the discount by subtracting its sale price from its market price. So discount is equal to market price minus sale. So in this discount, how we can find? If we subtract market price and sale price, then we will get discount. Now let's move to next. Now in this question here we have to find discount. So as we have learned that what is discount? Discount is the subtraction between market price and sale price. So first you write that discount is equal to marked price minus sale price. So how we will going to find the value? So what is the question? In Big Bazaar and rupees 640. What is the discount and discount percentage? So the price of item is 800, but it has been sold for price 640. So what discount the Big Bazaar has given to the customer? This we have to find. So this is the by this formula we are going to find the discount, that is marked price and sale price. What is the marked price over here? This 800 is marked price. And what is the sale price? This 640. This 640 is the sale price. Okay, now we will subtract the prices. 800 minus rupees 640. So we have get the discount price, that is 160. Since discount price is on marked price, we will have to use marked price as the base. So what we will do, we will use the marked price as the base. So now here you see that since discount is on marked price, so we will have to use marked price as the base. So here also we can use unitary method. So what we will going to do by unitary method, as we know, MP, that is marked price, is equal to 800 rupees, and discount is rupees 160. So now here we are going to find the percentage. So how we can find? What we are going to do? We will write 160 as numerator and 800 as denominator, and we will multiply by 100. So 0 0 will get cut off, and we will simplify the number. So we will get as 20. So 20 is the discount percentage. So 20 is the discount percentage. Okay, so by unitary method, you can easily find the percentage. What I have done, I have, as you know, in unitary method also, we take the value in denominator and we divide the numerator and denominator. And here for percentage, what I am going to do? For percentage, I will multiply with 100. So the percent we have got over here is 20%. By fraction method also you can easily find the percent. Now let's see how we can solve it by using fraction method. So by fraction method, so what we will do, we will divide both the number So we get as 40 by 20. 4 and this will 20. Now, next what I can do, I can divide numerator, I can multiply numerator by 5 and denominator by 5. So here what? So we will get 20 by 100. So 20 by 100 can be written as 20 percentage. So by unitary method and by fraction method, you can find the discount percentage. Now moving to next topic. So the next topic is profit and loss. Cost price. It is the actual price of the item. Overhead charges, expenses. These additional expenses are made while buying or before selling it. These expenses have to be reduced in the cost price. So cost price, that is actual CP. We can write cost price as CP plus overhead charges. Selling price, it is the price at which the item is sold to the customer. If SP means selling price. If SP is greater than CP, we make some money from selling the item. This is called profit. Profit is equal to SP minus CP. Profit percentage, P upon CP is equal to 100. Here P is profit. If SP is smaller than CP, we lost some money from selling the item. This is called loss. Loss is equal to CP minus SP. Loss percentage is equal to L upon CP into 100. So these are the formula by which you can get whether we are in any item we are facing loss or profit, or also you can find the percentage of profit and percentage of loss. So let's take an example. A shopkeeper purchased 200 Maggies for rupees 10 each. He sold them at rupees 12 each. Find the gain or loss percentage. So here for 200 Mackies, as the CP cost price was 10 for each, but the shopkeeper sold it for rupees 12 each. So here we have to find the loss, gain and loss percentage. So what we will going to do first, as you know, the cost price of 200 Maggies is equal to rupees 200 into 10, that is 2000. Now the SP, that is selling price of 200 Maggies is equal to rupees 200 into 12 is equal to rupees 2000 400. Now the obvious, here you can see it is very obvious that the shopkeeper has made profit. That means here the SP is greater than CP. So the profit is equal to rupees 2400 minus rupees 200. So the profit we get as 400. Now we have to find the percentage of profit. So here 400 is the profit and this is the this is the cost price. This is the cost price. So for finding the percentage of profit, what we will do, we will apply the formula of profit percentage. So on rupees 2000, the profit is rupees 400. On rupees 100, the profit would be would be 400 upon 2000 into 100. So what we get as profit percentage, that is 20%. Now moving to next topic. Now so here the next topic is sales tax and VAT. Sales tax, that we can stand it for ST. This is the amount charged by the government on the sale of an item. It is collected by the shopkeeper from the customer and given to the government. This is therefore always on the selling price of an item and is added to the value of the bill. Now what is VAT? That is value added tax. This is again the amount charged by the government on the sale of an item. It is collected by the shopkeeper from the customer and given to the government. This is therefore always on the selling price of an item and is added to the value of the bill. Earlier, you must have seen sales tax on the bill. Nowadays, you will mostly see value added tax. If the tax is X%, then total price after including tax would be the final price is equal to cost of item plus X upon cost of item into 100. Now from here, in many times you have seen that in bill there is written VAT, and we get the the price of item by after adding the value of VAT tax. So now what is the tax? Suppose the price of this dress is $32. So what will you pay for the item? And the tax in this dress is 8%. So 8% of the value, the price of the dress. That means we will apply 8% of 32. So 8% of 32 would be $2.56. So here you have seen that the price of the dress is $32. Now this 2.56 the value of the dress. So here the 8% is the tax which is applied to the value, to the cost of the dress. So this would be added to the cost of the dress, and the final bill is prepared as 34.59. So this is the final bill. Many times you have seen that the cost of an item is suppose 100 rupees. So the final bill the shopkeeper gave you is something more they have applied to the bill. So the what the value has added to the cost of the item, that is actually the tax we are paying for that particular item. Suppose if the cost of an item is 100, okay, if the CP is 100 and shopkeeper has applied 8% of tax in it. So the tax, that is 8%. So that means I'm going to apply this 8% on the cost of the item. That is 8. Now the shopkeeper will prepare the bill as 800 plus 8. So 8 is over here the tax you are going to give, that is maybe VAT tax or sales tax, or this is the cost of an item. So the final bill which you have to pay is 108 rupees. Okay. So in almost every item we see that tax is included, with whether you go to restaurant, whether you go to mall, or anything you buy from the market, you will see that the value of tax is added. Now what is VAT? VAT is a tax that is added on the most things you buy, both goods and services. VAT is collected from you by businesses, businesses and paid to government. VAT does not result in more tax. Businesses will collect VAT from you and me and pay VAT to on what they buy. The difference between those amount will be paid to or collected back from government. Now, the other question comes in the mind that where the tax government used. So now how taxes are used? The taxes we all pay help support our state because the money flows into our communities through the state budget. Taxes help our state by paying wages and salaries for teachers, first responder, judges, and others. Purchasing goods like computers, office supplies, squad car, building material, and more out. Purchasing services like IT, healthcare, upkeep of state buildings, and more. So basically, whatever government do for us is actually they take our taxes and they give our best services that we use. Now, how you can find tax? How much tax you have given? How you can calculate it? So this is the question. You buy a house for rupees 4 lakhs and pay a tax of 8%. How much is tax? So here we have to calculate the value of tax. Now what we will do? We will simply find 8% of 4 lakh. Now this is 3,200. So the final value we are going to give to the broker or whoever from where you are buying the house. So the final bill you are going to pay, that would be, you will add the tax in it, and finally this amount you have to pay. Okay, so like this we pay our taxes, and it is very important to pay our taxes. Now let's move to next topic. So the last topic is simple interest and compound interest. Interest is the extra money paid by institutions like banks or post office on money deposited, kept with them. Interest is also paid by people when they borrow money. Simple interest. Principal. The The original, here the spelling of principal is wrong. Here the principal will be Principle. Ple. So the original sum of money loan deposited, also known as capital. Time, the duration for which the money is borrowed, deposited. Rate of interest, the percent of interest that you pay for money borrowed or earned for money deposited. Simple interest is calculated as simple interest is equal to P, that is principal into rate into time, upon 100. Simple interest is equal to same formula, principal into rate into time upon 100. So total amount at the end of the time period, that is total amount. So principal plus simple plus simple interest. So now what is compound interest? Compound interest principal is equal to the original sum of money loan deposited, time the duration for which money is borrowed or deposited, rate of interest the percent of interest that you pay for money borrowed or earned for money deposited. Compound interest is the interest calculated on the previous year amount, that is A is equal to P plus interest, principal plus interest. Suppose principal, that is the money you have deposited to the bank. Suppose you have deposited 1,000 rupees. Now 1,000 rupees for 3 years. So the bank will take interest for keeping this money. So they have put a percent, that is called rate, 5% for 3 years. So they will calculate the interest for 3 years, and at the end they will pay you, or they will refund you the money by charging the interest, or you can say they will with this 1,000 rupees they will add the interest, and they will, when here this 1,000 rupees you have deposited to the bank, so they have refunded you with adding interest. Okay, so like this bank or institute work. So simple interest, in simple interest we add the simple interest or compound interest with the principal amount, with the principal amount. Now let's see a few examples. And here again, see. So for first year, the amount we will get, that is principal plus percent into rate upon 100. So we will get what we can do, we will take P from this value, and we will can write 1 plus R upon 100. So for second year also we will apply same simple interest, and for 2 years we will get this result. For n year, if the number of year is n means n can be any value, so the formula we can apply for compound interest is amount is equal to principal bracket 1 plus r upon 100, and here n. And what is n over here? See, for first year we are getting this amount. In second year we are getting this amount, this plus this. That is, we can write in square like this for n year. So the formula will become p bracket 1 plus r upon 100 and the power is n. The above formula is the interest compounded annually. Compound interest formula, if the interest is compound half yearly, annual is equal to p, that is principal 1 plus r by 200 to n. Here r by 2 is the half yearly rate. 2n is the number of half year. Similarly, for interest compounded quarterly, a is equal to p 1 plus r by 400 4n. So this is the formula for half yearly. If the bank or company is applying interest for half yearly, so this formula we will apply. If the interest is for quarterly, so this formula we will apply. And for annually, we will use this formula. Now we are going to solve questions. Now this question, how we are going to solve it? Find compound interest for rupees 12,600 for 2 years at 10% per annum compounded annually. Find the interest if it is not compound annually. Compare them. So in one question it is written that we have to find compound interest, and in another, if it is not compounded annually, then find the interest. So what we will do, for a part, a is equal to p upon 1 plus r by 100, and this is the compound interest formula where p is the principal. The principal is given over here, that is rupees 12,600, and a rate is given is equal to 10, and t is given 2. So simply we will apply the formula 1 plus 10 upon 100 2. So solve it. How we can solve it? We will multiply. We can cut 0 0 and multiply with 1, 10 with 1. So it will become 10 plus 1 upon 10 square. So we can write it as into 11 upon 10, 11 upon 10. 0, 0 will get cut. And you multiply this number, we will get, multiply it, by multiply it, 2, 1. If you multiply with this, you will get 6, 4, 2, 5, 1. That is 15,246. So this is the amount. This is the amount we have get. Now how we will find the compound interest? We will subtract annual amount from the principal amount with principal. So what we will do, how we will find the compound interest? So CI, that is compound interest, A minus P. So rupees 15246 minus rupees 12600. So after subtraction, what we will get? 6462. So this is the compound interest we will get. So for this question, if it is not compound annually, that means here we have to apply simple interest. So simple, for simple interest, what formula we use? For simple interest, we will use P into R into T upon 100. So multiply it. Zero, zero you will get, and multiply the number, you will get the simple interest. So simple interest, we will find it. If I multiply it, I will get 0252. 00520. Now the third question is compare between them. Compare the compound interest and simple interest. So we will compare both the number. So it is clear what we have seen, that compound interest is greater than simple interest. So that's why compound interest is better than simple interest. And in the bank, mostly they use compound interest. Now moving to next question. So here, find compound interest on rupees 1000 at the rate of 8% per annum for 1/2 year, when interest is compounded half yearly. So here we have to apply the formula for half yearly. So as you know, here the principal is rupees 1000 rate is 8%. 8% and time is equal to 1 by 2 years. So first we will, as you see, this is in mixed form. So first we will solve it, and what you will do, we will multiply 2 into 1, that is 2, 2 plus 1, that is 3. So 3 by 2 into, so here we have get 3 into 2. Fine. Yearly years. Now here we are going to apply the formula. So what is the formula for half yearly? By using the formula. So amount is equal to principal 1 plus R upon 200 and 2n. This is the formula for half yearly. So you will write 1 plus 8 upon 200. Now you know the n, the value of the time. N is 3 by 2. So I will write 3 by 2. So here 2 will get cut. So now this value we have to solve. So we will write 1 plus 8 by 203. So 1208 by 203. Now solve the value. Will get cut. This 2 will get cut. Here it was 8 into 208 upon 200. Now it can be cut by 2, 104, again 104. Here it is 100 and 100. Now multiply both the number 104, 104. Multiply these numbers and then you have to multiply this 208 also. So what we have to do, That is, we have to multiply 104 into 104 into 208 into 10 upon 100 into 100. 0 will get cut. Now it is very simple. Here you have to multiply and then place decimal according to the 0. Place the point of decimal according to the 0. So this you can do by your own, because here it is very simple that you have to only multiply. After multiplication, what you will do? After multiplication, you will get the amount, and then you have to subtract the amount minus principal, and then you will get the compound interest. So this is for you all. You can solve it and write the answer in the comment box. Now, hope you have understood all the points, all the topic which I have taught over here. If still you have any confusion or you need any clarity, then please do comment on the comment box. Okay, now this is the formula which we have used in this video. Go through it now. Thank you for watching. If you want to join my online classes, then you can join. New batches has been started. You can contact me on this number or you can mail me. The classes is for 8 to 10 and subject which I take is mathematics and science. Hope you have liked the video. Now just